I got something to say. I got something to say. We all got something to say. Speak up, stand up, wake up, get down. Everybody in the world know you feel. Speak a little more love in this place. I got something to say.
What's up? And welcome to another night with In the Chair with Montee and Mimi. What's up, beautiful?
I'm tired, sugar. I'm tired.
What's up, Sandra? Sandra, be
But
on
I'm
here.
here.
Like, we have some committed people to us, and I want to acknowledge that.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Honey, let me tell you something. I got a lot. It's a lot of folks that watch us that don't say nothing.
right.
Because, honey, I be at that daggone casino. They be like, we watch, me and my so-and-so watch. I said, well, shit. Had no idea.
I mean, we have a lot of people that watch us, so I want to say thank you for the viewers that we do
Yeah.
have, and for those that come and how it sparks more conversation, which is a really, really, really good thing. I mean, you would be surprised at the conversations that linger on and the inboxes and the things. Because Mimi gets inboxes just as well as I get inboxes.
Yes, Lord.
Inboxes. Even Josiah talks about it. Some of his friends will talk about it. So there are a lot of people that watch. I'm serious. There are a lot of people that watch the show, and even the church folks, girl, they watch the show. My mama will say, I heard y'all said this, or this is what I heard that was going on. What was this about? And I was like, well, mama, just tell me, I can't watch it. I can't watch it, but it's really, really an educational show. I think we talk about a lot of things that are relevant, things that are relevant, and that things that people are just afraid to talk about. So I'm appreciative, Mimi, and I want you to know that I love you today more than I did on yesterday. Somebody needs to hear that. I want you to know that I love you today more than I did on yesterday. And that's a lot. So how was your day?
My day was exhausting, but I got through it. I literally just walked through the door. I still got my boots on, but it's all right. I'm here.
Yes, puss boots.
Yes, I still got my boots on.
Puss and boots, honey. Yes, I love it. So, so listen, I had a very interesting day. When I tell you that Karen is real, Karen is real.
Oh, yeah.
So, listen, I never have experienced Karen the way I experienced Karen on today. And when I tell you Karen showed up and showed out to the fact that, well, listen, Mimi, it had me and one of my friends, Kim, so baffled that Kim looked at me and was just like, are we being punked? Am I being punked? Because, we just did not, I didn't know. I know that Karen exists. I know that there's Karens all over the world. And,
honey,
when you see it on YouTube, and you see it on TikTok, and you see it on different channels, you're kind of like, oh, okay. All right. I wish they would. I even wear a shirt that says, I wish Karen would. Honey, Karen did today, and I didn't know what to do. When I tell you I didn't know what to do, I didn't
tell me what happened. I'll tell you what I would have done.
So it was a situation to where I guess I could make it public. Because it was a public spectacle. So it was a
spectacle.
Oh, honey. So listen, I'm gonna just say this. We were charged with giving some information. We delivered the information. The information was not received the way that they thought it was going to be received, and they performed. And it got such a big performance that it involved the whole community. I'll say that. Everybody saw it. Oh, it was bad, girl. It was bad. When I say it was bad,
was this a higher up, or was this one of the
lower thans?
Uh, okay. I got you. It was one of those that basically felt that their tuition is paying your salary so
No,
they
no,
can
no. It was one of
talk
the
to you any kind of way.
actually that does a job. They do a job, but their job is just beneath the jobs that we do.
But okay, so it's a colleague.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See, I was trying to figure out if it was management or upper management or was it, a student. So this was a colleague. Okay,
Mhm.
got you.
And
So
Karen,
how did they want the information?
I think they wanted it more so on a level of, oh no, we oh please don't, or this, and so it was just one of those situations to where it was just like, okay, so this is what you've stated, and so this is what we're going to do, and so thank you. And honey, it went from there. When I tell you, Mimi, listen, I was so baffled. I was so baffled to where I was just like, I don't know how to respond. And usually I have this tongue to where I can just come back and just be like, but I was so baffled that it was such a performance to where I was just like, for real? Are you serious? And then of course it's been twisted around to where it's all over the place now. When I say it's all over the place,
Child,
it's all over the
the
place.
first thing I would have said, sugar, did you take your medication today?
So you know what? That right there,
Really?
that's so serious. It's such a serious thing to where I
No,
feel
because I mean, and it's the thing. It's a lot of fucking people on medication
it
that
is.
you don't know they on medication.
I
And
will
when
agree.
they don't
What's
take
that
it,
in the
and that's
car?
why they need to let people know that they are on medication, because just in case you don't, then we have a reason. Okay, that's why this bitch tripping because she ain't took the pills today.
I agree, Mimi. I agree.
I
You know,
got I got one that comes into my bar on a daily basis,
mhm,
and she had a stroke, and the stroke. It's sad to say the stroke made her, because she's really a racist, but it's like some days she's really nice. She forget that she's racist, like her,
mhm,
the brain, So I'll know when she's having a good day or a bad day, because normally it's when I know she remembers she a racist, she'll say, "Oh, it's so hard to find good Southern folks." Yeah, yeah.
God.
Yes. And so this one particular day, because when I say I have so much experience with Karens,
Mhm,
so much, and they can't stand it because I'm not scared of them. A lot of them, they like to intimidate you, and when they
mhm,
realize that you don't, they really don't know how to act towards you. When it's like, okay, they not responding like I'm used to.
right, 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 right,
So this one, she, because everybody on here knows, I'm a bartender,
right.
and high limit room. So this one she plays, far, far back, and since we've been back, we're short staffed. So a lot of times we don't have a cocktail server. Well, we didn't have a cocktail server walking the floor. So God forbid this bitch had to get up and come to the bar get her own drink, honey. Mm. This was one of the bad days where she was nice, honey. And this, y'all, forgive me because this is how I tell a story. I go in the character of the person that's, not making fun of, but this is how I do. So she came up to the bar. She was like, I don't know. I've been sitting back there for hours and nobody came back there to give me a drink. And I'm like, sugar, I gave you my phone number last time. It's not my job to come back there to bring you a drink. I said, my domain is behind this bar. I don't have to
Right,
truck through the prep kitchen to walk back there to take your drink or to come back. Go get your comp because I know you ain't got no damn comp on it. And then come make the drink and then take it back. She's like, I tip $20 every time. I said, well, I get $100 a lot of times per drink, standing my ass back here. So why would I walk all the way out there to you to do all that extra work? She said, well, the pit boss saying that that's your job. I said, well, the pit boss fucking lied to you because that's not my goddamn job. Period.
Wow.
I said, now when I come out, that is a courtesy that I will extend. And I only do that once in a while when I'm able to, but I wasn't able to today. I said, because I've been busy. So she said, well, nobody's here right now. I said, well, that's why I'm able to get you your drink and you can go on back to your machine. So this the thing. When I say I encounter it all the time. And they do not know how to take it when you know who you are and you know you don't have to take their shit.
Right.
That's
Right.
because a lot of Karens operate, a lot of racist people operate in fear and intimidation. And when those don't work, that's when you get the full on tantrum like you got today.
I totally agree. And I also agree that mental illness is real.
Oh
I,
yes.
that shifts to where tonight we're doing our letters, but then I also want to talk about suicide. And it's
Oh
something
yeah.
that we really, really don't talk about in the Black community. We really, really don't talk about it, and with people of color a whole lot. But over the past month, there have been several people that have committed suicide. There have been all kinds of people that are committing suicide on a daily basis. But there are three people that come to mind that I wanted to mention. The first person is Regina King's son. You know, that was a
Yeah.
and it's such a sad, sad situation, you know, for her. And that was her
Yeah.
own child. And as a child, as a
And
parent,
Amy was the only grandchild.
and the only grandchild. So, you know, as a parent, we strive our best to make sure that our children are taken care of. We strive to make
Yeah.
sure that we're providing for our children, that they are, you know, well equipped to live life. We strive for those things. And I'm speaking from a parent, as a parent's point of view, for I have a child. My oldest son suffers with depression and anxiety, and he has attempted suicide twice. And so, in being
Mm.
open and honest and talking about it, we can talk about it. And him and I have a conversation, and he's very public about it. So that's the reason why I can say it on here. You know, it's not to
Yeah.
shame him, but it's also to say that when
It's
people
it's
don't know
no
how to,
shame in it, really.
there's shame
Yeah.
in it.
It's no
You know, when
shame in
people don't know how to express themselves, or they're dealing with things and they're in a dark place. Which brings me to the next person. You know, that was the Hyattsville, Maryland mayor.
it.
You
I
know, for him,
know.
he committed suicide. He shot himself, and so that was a situation that, you know, he was only 40. You know, he's 44. He was 44, and so he committed suicide. And so, you know, you have to wonder, what is a person actually going through? What is a person thinking? And as we have the number on the bottom that's going across the screen, it's 1-800-273-TALK. That's the 24-hour National Suicide Prevention Hotline. And so I wanted, we wanted, Mimi and I want to make sure that people have a
Yeah.
resource, because as we take life very seriously, as we take people's feelings very seriously, with sometimes, I mean, but not really, we do all the time. But with
Yeah,
people that are
absolutely.
battling situations, depression, anxiety,
People
mental,
battling so much stuff right now
and
because I mean, on top of your regular, because there's a lot of people that deal with depression, but a lot of folks have lost their job during this pandemic. People are losing their homes.
they are.
Because now the eviction thing is lifted, so people are they just not able to catch up. It's just people have so many pressures on them right now. It's uncanny. And just this weekend, because this Saturday was a really rough Saturday for me because it was the birthday of my cousin Pinky that died when Emil was only 2 months old, and
Oh,
she was to be my children's godmother. So it was the anniversary of her birthday. And every year, some years are better than others. This
mhm.
year wasn't good emotionally, and it was not only it was her birthday, but my cousin Devonna, she had committed suicide, like 5 years ago on this day on my cousin's birthday. So it was just it hit double. It was because the thing is, and my cousin was the one that committed suicide. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, and you would think, you look at them and you like they got everything going on, but you
Mhm.
never know.
You never
You
know.
never know what folks are dealing with. You
Rachel
never
Hill
ever
says, I had a cousin's daughter-in-law who committed suicide last week. She left a 3-year-old daughter. That right there within itself is a sad situation. And what do you say?
and it's not a thing that's where I've heard people say that they are selfish. They're not selfish. When you have crippling depression,
Hmm.
all you want is the pain to stop.
Right,
You just
right,
want the pain to stop. You just want it to
right,
go away,
right,
and they don't know any other way.
right. Um,
They don't know any other way. That's all it is.
Another person that we can bring up would be the former Miss America. Um,
Yes, child,
John,
that thing, yeah, that thing threw me.
right. That she jumped from her balcony to her death.
And
Those
when I say that's not something normally, and I'm not, with
right.
women and men, that's not normally something women do.
You know,
Women don't normally do. Yeah, we no,
right.
we
And
want to go out. Yeah, that's yeah.
so
That thing that had to be deep for her to take that leap.
anytime situations like that happen, you have to look and say, what could I have done? What did I not say? Or what could I have been, or
Yeah,
where could I have been, or how could I have shown up? Those are
right.
serious conversations that you have to ask yourself, but then you can't blame yourself. I know, as being a parent, I've always strived to try to have open conversations and communications, but there was just some places that I didn't know how to reach. And that's the reason why I say that it's really, really important that you seek out counseling, that you talk to someone, find someone
Yeah.
that you can talk to. Again, we have the suicide
The
prevention,
right counselor.
the right counselor. We have the
You got to
suicide
find the right one.
line going on, 1-800 two
Yeah.
seven three talk. Um, I recommend people to reach out to your churches, reach out to family members that you feel comfortable with, friends, even sometimes it's your boss, or it's your it could be even your spouse. I know that I recently is going through, and this is just being transparent, as recently going through a divorce, I experienced some high times and some very, very low periods. And then
Mhm.
trying to really, really figure out where I was maneuvering. How did I maneuver? Especially living here versus as back in Texas. It put me in a place of being depressed because you're used to having two different incomes and now you're operating off one. Things are not lining up the way that you want them to line up. So I experienced some low times. I can't honestly and sit up here and say that I tried to commit suicide, but there were some times that I contemplated and said, maybe that would be a better
Oh,
way out. You know, um, and that's just being transparent, because sometimes people look at us as being strong people, or people like me as being strong people.
mm,
But then oftentimes we have our weakest points, when we're at our lowest points. And, it's just like that things keep happening and you just get lower and
yeah.
lower and lower and you can't find your way out. When I first moved here, there was a suicide prevention walk that we used to do, and it's called Out of the Darkness Suicide Walk. They have that in DC, and I want people to realize that there are places that you can go. Not only are there places that you can go, but there are resources out there. And so this Out of Darkness Suicide Walk usually happens around in October, November in DC. And so what it is a group of people that walk, and then they're talking about prevention, as well as they're talking about people that have already committed suicide. And so that was one of those things that I
Right.
made sure that, and Jacoby and I, And I have to give kudos to him as being a support system for Montee and helping us through, because we really didn't know how to maneuver through that. That was something that I had never encountered before, and so as we're still maneuvering through it, because it just does not go away. You find ways to cope with it, but that doesn't go away.
Mhm.
And as I spoke with my child on last night, he told me, Dad, as far as my mental health, I'm okay. I'm stressed, but I'm okay. And so those are conversations we never would have before, but now we can talk about it. How are
Yeah,
you feeling? Where are you at?
important.
How, and it's
Yeah.
important that you create a safe
Yeah.
space for people to operate. And there was something that I learned through a friend, the semicolon. That was something that I didn't understand. So you see people with the semicolon tattoo, and what it means is life continues. Usually, those people that have that, they've either been around someone or they have been those people that have tried to commit suicide or battling mental health issues or depression. And
Mm.
so they have gotten the semicolon to say, hey, there's not a period here, but that means that life continues. There's something after this that I can continue on, I can move on. And it's a reminder for
Mm.
people. And so I just think that, as people are dealing with things, Linda Carter is saying that my door is open and I have a full bar. I can cook up some food and we can chill. Those are things that
I
people
know
hear.
that.
That's thank you, Linda.
Because sometimes people just need to talk. That's why they come. You have a lot. You have some people that just they come to the hairdressers so they can, you know, have that outlet. Lord knows they come and talk to me about stuff.
You know,
I mean, dark stuff. But
right.
yeah,
Mimi, I've come to you and I've talked to you about certain things, and you would just be like, oh my God, I never knew. And, I'm just like, yeah, girl, this is just where I am. And then you've come to me
yeah,
and we've talked about things. I mean, so I want people to
mhm,
know, and being open and honest, that we all battle something. We all battle something.
yes,
Whether you've been diagnosed with it, whether you've just you know that you have it. Sandra says sometimes you just need a listening ear. I agree.
that's
Whether
true.
it's one of those situations or something, and I know this is not the part of the show that everybody's used to, of us having serious conversations, but that's what we're about. You have to have serious conversations. um,
Mm-hmm.
it's so important and it's so dear to me because, like I said, as having a son that deals with depression and deals with hurt and pain that I don't know how to heal, but I know that I go to God. And that's another thing. People have used God as to condemn those people that deal with depression or mental issues. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's the devil talking to you, or those are that. But it's not that. It's people are dealing with real life issues, and they need somebody that can hear them in the moment. I'm not saying that God can answer you, but sometimes they need a yes right now. They need somebody to say it's okay, or they just need a physical
But I
hug.
always say that demon and God resides in everybody.
Right,
It's just who gonna win out at the moment.
right, right. Um,
Yes,
so I want
we
to.
we all got it.
We all got it. We all got it. Listen,
Absolutely.
I had a moment today because I started thinking about, talking to my child last night and then thinking about all these deaths that have happened, and then, dealing with some of the issues that I still deal with and my own demons that I have and things of that nature. And I had a moment today, and Kim told me, she was just like, "Did you eat today?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "You need to eat. Come on, let's go get something to eat." And and it was just that walk to go get something to eat that made me,
Yeah.
so it's just always
Mhm.
about talking to somebody and being there. And mental illness is real, and it doesn't mean that you're less than. It doesn't mean that you're not good, or it means that you've just been cursed or something like that. It's just that it's some situations you got to work through, baby. And people are here that love you
Yeah.
and that want to be there for you. So I encourage you, if you're watching the show, or if you know someone that is battling with depression or anything of that nature, give them this number, 1-800-273-TALK. 1-800-273-TALK. Inbox me or Mimi. Um, inbox.
I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you. I ain't scared to talk. We can talk. We can
Mhm.
we can talk and we can pray. We can do whatever it is that you need to do, to make sure that you're in a healthy state. And if you need somebody to
Yep.
be hold your hand in that moment, if you need to check yourself into a facility for some help or something, I'm willing to meet you there and walk you through the door. And I commit that to you because I take it
Mhm.
very, very seriously. All right.
Yeah.
So now, girl, we up to these letters. We up to these letters.
My
Rachel,
favorite.
and I want to read what Rachel says. She says, "Thanks for this loving conversation. Suicide leaves so many new victims behind, Mimi, because the survivors often blame themselves and are now left with having to explain it to their child. Let's keep all of our survivors and those considering this as an option in prayer. Lord, help us know what to say and do for our loved ones." That's really sweet, Rachel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I agree with
Yeah.
that there. All right, we're up to our letters, girl. And this first one that they put down, and so like they put the like my stuff. Listen, when I tell you I feel like I'm a celebrity over here, Mimi. Like my production team, girl, look, my production team. I have Brandon. Brandon is here, and he has his own little studio set up over there at my kitchen table. And
Brandon is bomb.
yeah,
Yeah.
Brandon is the bomb. Brandon sits over there and he monitors
Mm.
everything. He answers and he does all this stuff.
Mhm.
Come in real quick, Brandon. Let's see you. Let Brandon come on the camera and say, "Hey, does he in my kitchen? I hope my kitchen.
Brandon's so cute.
I
Too.
hope my kitchen
He's
looks right."
so he's
Anyway,
so good.
he ain't got on there yet. What's up, Brandon? He ain't gonna unmute himself because it'll mess up everything. But he just said, "What's up?" And so then my
Yeah.
stage. Listen, my stage coordinator, Josiah, graphics, all this other stuff. Josiah. So like Josiah sets up all my lighting, and he'll be like, "Okay, Daddy, you look good." This is, oh look, he put in the comment, "Hey everyone," because he's in his room watching the show. I mean, so that's just like what we got going on over here. So I love my production team. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you do for us. Because it's just not about me,
Absolutely.
it's about Mimi. We make sure that Mimi get the codes. We make sure that Mimi, I be on Mimi, y'all. I can't be over there and make sure that that her lighting is right. But I'll be like, girl, put that lip on, change that lip. That's not right. You look cute today, Mimi. Mimi look cute.
Charlotte, you ain't never had to tell me nothing about my daggone left. That's That's never. That's
Tell her. But
that's one thing. I know how to keep this. So yeah.
Lord.
Now you might tell me that you like one more than the other.
I do
That's
think I
that's
look more than the
understandable.
other. Okay, so
Because sometimes I decide, I'm in a different mood, different headspace.
Lord. So listen, we're up to our letters. This is the first time that we're reading letters for this first of the year. So this is cool. We're excited. It's first of the month. We always read the letters. So we got
Mhm.
some letters, y'all. This one says, once a hoe, always a hoe. Look how we both stopped and looked at each other like, okay, here we go. It says, Dear Montee and Mimi, I don't even know where to start. Back in the day, let's just say I used to be a very wild woman. I would get it in, and any and every time I had a few slip ups and had 3 children by the age of 20. Dang. My past is my past, and I will only own it. I finally grew up and realized I needed to make some changes. I started going to church and got saved. I found my husband in the church. Hallelujah. The whole time we dated, we never had sex. I wanted this to be very special. I've been married for a year now. Oh, girl, you just got delivered. She just got delivered. But anyway, I must say, in the beginning, our sex wasn't so great. I'm not sure if it was just for me being so experienced and he wasn't. With my coaching, it got they stress way, Mimi, way better. Each time I would introduce something new, and every time he would go crazy. This was until last week I did a little trick and he didn't like it. He actually pushed me off of him and got up and hasn't looked at me the same since. This is a problem for me just because I've suppressed that sexual part of me so long I'm ready to bring that woman back out. I'm very free thinking when it comes to sex. If my husband can't get it on my level, this may lead to a divorce. What do you both think? Sincerely, Hot Coochie. She signed her name.
Well,
Hot.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little deeper, hot coach. With you going with all them different You having, not gonna say, we're not gonna call you a hoe. I'm gonna say you have friendly pussy. Um, when stop, 'cause I'm acting like you know me. So what happens is, I can almost assure you that it's some sexual trauma there in that past.
You think so?
Absolutely,
What's up?
absolutely. I, I would bet my life on it that it was some sexual trauma
Mm-hmm.
back there in that past.
Mm-hmm.
And with her, what's probably different now is that um she might have actually fallen in love
Mm-hmm.
with this man. And love changes the dynamic. So she might have real intimacy instead of just hot butt naked, wild ass sex.
Mm-hmm.
So, she might now sometime, and this I'm just gonna say the way it is, just how I feel. She might not be delivered. She joined the church and decides she don't want to be out there in the street. But that don't mean that you done dealt with all of those issues preceding this marriage.
Uh-huh.
You got a lot of unhealed stuff. It brings on so many different things, and it
Mm.
manifests in so many different ways.
Uh-huh.
So while she's saying, this sex don't change, no, ma'am, you need to change. It ain't your husband this time.
It's not the husband?
You need to go and deal with whatever hurt, unhealed hurt that you have that got you acting in this manner.
What's up, Felicia? So this is the thing, Mimi. She said,
Hmm.
I had to look where my letter was. She said, um, every time she enters, each time I would introduce something new, he would go crazy. So I don't think it's that part of her. Linda says it's her demons.
No, it just so happened he just liked the other shit she did. Then she went too damn far. He's like, wait a minute, I keep it. I'm hoping to keep it interesting, but just no, I can't get down with this.
I want.
And unfortunately, a lot of men, where women to say, well, you can be as open and as free with me. A lot of men do not want their wives
Mm-hmm.
um enjoying certain aspects of their fantasies.
Mm-hmm. So
They don't want that because they're going to look at them differently.
I'm wondering what she did because she didn't say. She said I did a little special trick, but
She
she.
probably stuck something in his butt. She probably did.
I was thinking. So I was thinking that either she put her finger in there or she possibly put her mouth down there. Because my thing is there's not too much.
Either one, she did something to that butt, and dudes, a lot of straight dudes, they don't play that. They don't want nothing around that. Like, hey, no, want nothing around there.
Sandra said, "Yep, it had to do with some." Sandra said, "That's what I was thinking." Rachel said, "Yep, it had to do with that butt, with his butt." So my thing is, he ain't looked at her the same. Now, there could be two reasons why he's not looking at you the same. Because one, he could have enjoyed it, and he didn't want you to know that he enjoys it. It could be that. It could be one of those. Debbie says probably booty play. It could have been that situation to where it was like, wait a minute, now I don't want you to know that part of me. Or it could have been that other part that he just know he ain't down with it. And it could have been a third
I
part,
think
sexual trauma too.
it might both. It probably, honestly, it's probably the third because most of the time, broken people attract other broken people.
Right. He's Rachel
Because when because the red flag when she said it, I slipped up and had 3 babies by 20. You ain't slip up. Somebody groomed you for that. No, I'm serious, and this ain't no judgmental stuff. That's not a normal thing. Nobody that child that woman what she call herself hot cooch, but that what she call herself.
hot coochie, yeah.
How Coochie was neglected
This
for a
from
long time
just whenever I said it,
from
she
her
got
parents. She was neglected.
I had dropped everything in his room. It was like stuff just fell out. He was just like dropped it. Uh, Rachel said they needed to talk
Yeah,
about.
but she's been neglected a long time. And sometimes when you have sexual trauma, you are addicted to being treated poorly.
Right.
So sometimes when you start getting treated well, you don't. It's like, oh, this is foreign.
Debbie
It
said,
don't feel right when the other stuff should be feeling wrong.
Debbie says, I don't do no booty play. Exit only, and I ain't messing with no one else's booty either. Just FYI. Sad. She said,
Me, I'm with you, Debbie.
uh, so,
No,
so
vanilla over here.
vanilla over here. So listen, there was
Vanilla.
a
Yeah.
situation that I attended with one of the viewers. I'm not gonna call her out, but I attended an event with one of the viewers that's chatting right now. And so we had a stripper there. And the stripper was, he was stripping and all this and that.
It was
And
a sex
so
party.
no sex party.
No, I'm talking about the toy. That's
Huh?
what I meant,
No,
boy.
no, 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 no. It wasn't a toy party or
Okay.
anything like that. It was actually an event, and the stripper was there. And so this stripper, like, kind of manhandled her, and flipped her over, and tried to have her. And we had already told him, you don't want to do her like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And so this female, like, and this stripper was like real buff, real strong. We call him Mr. Baltimore, and so she flipped him over. Mimi, when I said she flipped him over,
She flipped him over.
listen, little flipped him over and lifted his legs up and played in his booty, and he jumped up like he had been violated. Girl, when I say that he didn't know what to do, and so he was like, wait. But the thing about it was, we had already warned him. Who you messing with?
But she put her fingers in his butt.
She didn't put it in there. She just kind of rubbed it a little bit, just like.
But on top of the drawers or underneath.
Underneath.
You friends nasty, cause we in a damn pandemic. She rubbing booty holes all. No.
Debbie said he had been violated. But yeah, and so he jumped
You
up.
probably in counseling, man.
Huh? He didn't care.
Your friend got some problems. Your friend got some problems. I think I know. I think you told me the story. And she a little tough. Yeah, I think I know who this is.
It's a booty assault and battery. That's what Debbie said. Rachel says
Yeah.
good. But yeah. So I mean, with this person right here, I'm gonna tell you this. It's okay to try to introduce stuff in the bedroom, but I think that when you're introducing stuff, there has to be boundaries, and you need to discuss that because it could cause a person to relive. He says. That's what it is. And so it could cause, God, you know what? Listen, you'll never know who's watching you. What's up, Gary? Gary is from Pampa. I grew up with Gary. And so I never knew that Gary even watched the show. Asante said,
yes, a whole lot of
prostate cancer. God, y'all going real good. Oh my gosh, my aunt is watching. Listen, what's up, Aunt Kathy? So like I have people watching that I just never know that just watch us. So like within a situation, like, I'm gonna say this, that whenever you're introducing something in the bedroom, you need to have a conversation because it could cause one to relive sexual trauma, or it could cause one to be turned totally off and you're gonna be embarrassed in the bedroom. Somebody might get up like this man did and never look at you the same because they weren't ready for it. So have open communication. Maybe that's part of the foreplay. Maybe foreplay can be communication. You do know that, right? I want people to know that. You do know that foreplay can be part of communication and talk about it. Like Mimi, it's a no for you. It's a no for you.
Or I heard what you said, or it could have been he ain't realized she presented something
That he wasn't rich?
Before the marriage. It was the old bait and switch. He thought he was getting something good and wholesome. And he said, this a damn freak. Might be.
It could be that. Debbie says, yeah, that's what I'm putting it out there just in case if any of your viewers was thinking about shooting a shot. You're not getting no booty here, and I'm not licking your or poking or touching no one else's booty too. I tell you, Debbie is crazy. Gary said, "What's good?" And keep up
I
the
like
work.
that.
Much, Gary. I appreciate that. Rachel says, "I
But
got
I'm gonna say before we move on from
cracking me. Listen, Rachel, don't leave. Don't leave.
Miss
So
Miss High Country, this the last word. This what I'm gonna leave her with. Ma'am, I need you to go talk to somebody and heal those past hurt. I don't know you, but I know you. Go get yourself some help.
go get
For
yourself.
real.
All right. Next letter. It says, "Let me catch y'all up. Dear Monte and Mimi, I wrote y'all about 2 months ago about this married man I was messing with and how my best friend didn't approve and we hit a rough patch. Well, needless to say, I'm still friends with my best friend, but that's not the issue. It's the married guy I'm seeing. This man is catching feelings and he's talking about leaving his wife for me. This is definitely not what I want for us. My thing is, why ruin a good thing when we already have? My other thing is, you've been with your wife for 15 years. Why leave her now? Don't get me wrong. We've had a good time. We have a good time when we're together, and sex is amazing. But that's all we have is sex. Should I break off this whole situationship, or do I stay in it and see where it will eventually go? Sincerely, side chick."
I remember that. You know what?
Mary,
How you gonna turn into a fucking marriage counselor now? Now tell him he need to stay.
Debbie said, Debbie said, "Stop humping married people, period." Rachel says he's lying anyway, and she's stupid for believing it. Drayton,
The thing.
says just eyes, just looking like, what?
Oh, that's my girl then. But let me tell you something. I mean, at least I know she got a little piece of brain because she's saying, "Nah, we gonna keep this the way it is." Because if you let it, if he leave his wife, that side chick position gonna be open.
It's gonna be open.
The white position gonna be now filled, but it's gonna be a now you gonna have a relationship assistant helping your shit out. So the fact that she's talking about she don't know what to do, girl, bye. You know what to do. You just ain't gonna do it. So
So what should she do, Mimi?
leave that man alone.
She
But she
knows.
not going to. She not. Let me tell you something. Folks know. Folks know what they gonna do. They just don't want everybody else to know all the particulars. But folks out they comfortable in whatever they comfortable in.
Her
Period.
sister says, "First of all, I was the wife once, and she goes to sleep. There is no waking up, and she'll be hanging upside down from the pecan tree. Then I'm changing all info on bank accounts and becoming a cougar." I know that's right. Debbie says facts. Rachel says that part, Mimi. She's agreeing with you. And Debbie says she needs to get an unmarried individual.
But she's probably not. This the thing because it's always deeper. She likes the married man because she's unavailable for whatever wall she has up.
Mhm.
She doesn't want somebody that can totally be into her for whatever reason. So that's working for her as well. So I mean, it's dysfunction. It's just it's just a different type of dysfunction.
Right. I just with this one right here, she said she wrote it in 2 months ago. I remember
I remember that.
I remember the letter. Debbie says she got undealt with trauma. I agree.
Absolutely.
One thing that I've learned from Mimi and this show that there are so many relationship assistants running around, aka side chick, aka side man, aka DL boyfriend. There are so many of them running around to where you kind of it is undealt with trauma. I will say that
Absolutely.
while you will accept being second, or why you would accept not having, somebody completely to be yours. I think that that is one of the it's undealt with trauma. It's something going wrong. Either you've learned that behavior, you saw that your dad cheated on your mama, or your mama cheated on your daddy, and you think that that's right, or your uncle or granddaddy or whoever that you've encountered.
Or you don't want to be hurt, and you like, okay, I already know what this is, so
Right,
it
right,
can't,
right. But
I'm good right here, because if you go into something and risking it all, that's when you can get your heart broken, and some people don't want that.
you're right. Some people don't want their
So
heart
it's
broken. Some
it's so
people,
many different
right,
scenarios that
right. With
things
this,
this could be.
but and she says that my other thing is you've been with your wife for 15 years. So then that means y'all are having pillow talk. He's telling you too much. So he's catching feelings on a whole nother level to tell you, I'm with my wife, I've been with her for 15 years, we've been through this, we've been through that. Is that acceptable? So by being the
This
side
is the thing. It ain't no rules to it. Ain't no damn handbook to this shit. It's not. When you keep this is the thing. When you lay down with somebody, and y'all know I'm not churchy at all, but I know shit. When you lay down and you are joined with another person, your spirits are intertwined.
it becomes a soul tie.
So it's not only that you sleeping with this one and that one physically, you taking on mental stuff.
You
You
are.
taking on they hurt, and like you start doing shit that you ain't even never thought to do. And you don't even realize, like, damn, why I like hot Cheetos all of a sudden? You don't know. It can be any daggone thing. So it's serious. That's why we not supposed to be laying down with every damn body, because spiritually your ass can't handle it.
Mm.
Folk think they can, but they can't.
You're absolutely right. Whenever you start laying with the person or you start doing things with the person, you do become intertwined. And I think it starts to play with, like you said, you start doing things. You start acting different ways, because then you start catching feelings, and then you become intertwined with the
You
person.
gonna catch feelings. I don't care how rough or how hard or how much you said you wasn't going to do, you're going to catch feelings, because this is you are somebody is entering into your body, or you entering into somebody else's body. You
Right.
can't get no closer than that.
Right. And I've never understood how people can say that they can have one night stands and not go back, or how they can disconnect, because that's trauma. That right there
Well,
with the
that's why they don't exchange no. They want to go back. Let me tell you something. They might not admit it, but that haunts them. Absolutely,
hmm
it
hmm
does. And a lot of times those things start to tear on self-esteem and self-worth.
Right.
It's like, why do I keep doing this? Why am I accepting this? And then it's like you done gave yourself, and I'm talking men and women, you done gave yourself for what?
Now
Don't nobody even know your name.
I have a friend that he's very open about his stuff, and he one day he was with five guys in one day, five guys, and so and I kept asking, I
That's
said, "So
good.
what are you trying to get? That you had to go sleep with five different people in one day. What was it that you were
You
looking
don't
for?"
know.
And he was just like, "Child, I was just bored. I was just doing something." So five.
No, he wasn't. That was him. Let me tell you something. That was him. That's a defense mechanism,
Mm-hmm.
because he's one of those, and I don't even know him, but I know him. He's one of those that he don't want to let people in. He don't want to get too close.
Mm-hmm.
So he calls, having all this sex distractions.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
just it's like busy work. Like when you're in school and you got a substitute and they give you a whole bunch of dittos to do that don't mean shit, just keeping you busy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's doing. But let me tell you something. He might seem all right now, but one day he gonna be with himself, having to face himself, and he ain't gonna like what he see.
Wow. All right, let's move on. Hello, Barbara. This is Shirley. You know, that's one of my favorite songs, Woman to Woman. Woman to Woman,
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs. Hello, Barbara. This is Shirley. Dear Montee and Mimi, I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend for nearly a decade. And last year I found out that he cheated on me with his best female friend. Needless to say, I was devastated, especially because I had become cool with her over the course of our relationship. Double betrayal much? I decided to give the relationship one last shot, but he needed to completely cut that friend off. Now, 6 months later, he's talking to the friend, even though it's cordial, and I have an issue with that. The friend has apologized to me, woman to woman, but I still just don't want them to be friends. We've had several mutual friends who, of course, don't know what happened. I'm not sure if it's me being insecure, still hurt over the situation, or just being a bitch. But I can't understand why he can't just cut her off. Do you think I do you think since I forgave my boyfriend and I'm working past the situation with him that I should do the same for her? Sincerely, woman to
Fuck no. No. Hell no.
thank you.
And see, honestly, she's gonna have to walk away from him too, because the fact that he can't, he's so cold, can't leave her alone. They just cordial. It's feelings there. It's something there,
It's something there.
and that other bitch, she ain't gonna let that go.
The best friend is not gonna let that go.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So
She ain't gonna let that go.
it's a situation. So
And
let's
and this is the one that wrote the letter. She is well within her right to ask for him to not be bothered with her, and to not forget, to not deal with her no more, because that's a whole nother issue. It's one thing to be a relationship assistant.
Mhm.
It's another thing to be breaking bread with the bitch whose man you fucking. That's a whole nother. That bitch is dirty. That's some dirty shit.
That is dirty. That is very
That
dirty.
is.
And
And
so
she better be glad she ain't get her ass whooped behind that.
because that's what you'd have done.
I can't say what I would have done. That's why I don't like to put myself in them situations, because I already know. When I snap, that's why I try very hard not to get into those situations, because I am very sweet, but that other side is just ass.
Listen, Drayton says
You
Lolo.
know,
Rachel
it's
said
just as treacherous as this nice side. Yeah,
Rachel says let both of them go. Neither
absolutely.
give a damn about her. Linda Carter says,
Yeah.
"Drag that ass." Linda ready to fight. And so I think in a situation to
But
where
I mean that right there, because you sitting up here in my face and you know what you doing.
Mhm.
That's a whole nother thing there.
Well, so
It's one thing you don't know or you ain't seen her, but you done set up in our face and hung out, and we done shared meals together and talk shit. No, bitch. That's some next level shit there.
that's next
Mm,
level. And so
yes, it is.
she said that she wanted him to cut her completely off. But now 6 months later, he's still
And
talking,
he's not going to.
and he's not because they
He's
are.
not
She
going to.
said this is his best female friend.
I bet she is.
So, do you think that they could stop? Do you think that they've stopped sleeping together?
No. If she lied the first time, what's to stop her from lying now?
True. So you're saying that
I
woman to
say fuck
woman.
both of them. That's what I say. I wouldn't deal with neither one of them no more.
Brandon Moore says it's a sticky situation. You have your best friend and your boo of 10 years. I think they both hold weight.
No. Mm-mm. No.
Mimi says no. I say in this situation, I think
Because the thing is, he messed up, so he changed the dynamic.
He did
See, the
take.
thing is, she accepted, and this is why a lot of women won't accept a female or opposite sex best friend because it is the same. This shit here. Because I've said that before. Most of the time, when you have a co-ed best friendship, normally somebody has had feelings for the other,
Mm-hmm.
but however, they weren't feeling the same way and they accepted that, all
Yeah.
that they were offering. So all they was offering was friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But that other person, they gonna catch you slipping. They gonna catch you at a vulnerable moment and they gonna move in.
Unless they're gay.
No, against gay, y'all got a whole different. I don't know. Are you talking about if the opposite is gay?
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully they just gay and not bi, cause child,
Maybe said hopefully. Linda Carter says no, they're still seeing each other. Drayton says right, and he doesn't respect her enough to set
yeah,
boundaries. Um, so in a
yeah.
situation like this, do you think that boundaries should be set? Now, can they come back and set a boundary and say, you know what, you're still my
They
business.
can't come back. This you can't come back from.
You can't
You
come
can't
back.
come back from this.
So
You
it's
can't
either
come back
cut
from
it off.
this.
It's either cut it off completely, or move on.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
because he's already shown he can't be trusted with this person.
Okay.
And then it's a person that's been around, so they got some history, which they already got feelings.
Mhm.
And this bitch done been to the family cookouts, and I'm sure she close with mama and grandma, and so you gonna no,
Linda Carter
no,
says,
the
cannot
whole family will have to cut her off.
wipe his ass. All right. So we saying drop him. Let him go. You can't come back from this. Either he
Yeah,
cuts her off, cuts the best friend off, and moves on, or yeah, cut the friend off and we stay together,
I
or
don't think he's gonna cut the friend off. So I'm gonna tell her. I hear what you saying. It would be great if he did. And when I say cut her off, that means mama, she can't be over for Christmas. You can't be in the kids' life. You can't hang with my aunties and my cousins, bitch. You are dead to the Johnsons. I don't know their names, but that's what the whole family. You can't come around. But I doubt if that's going to happen. So, and it's too much that has already happened. And what she's gonna end up doing is she's gonna be the one hurt, and she ain't done nothing wrong. She's
Rachel,
gonna be the one hurt again.
Rachel says, think of yourself enough to let them both go. You're worthy of better friends and a man. Exclamation mark. Chandra McMahon, I can't say it, McMahon.
McMahon.
She says on time. My contacts is blurry, honey. But anyway, so we're saying let him go. Yeah, let him go, or
Yeah, yeah.
feel like you need to do.
No,
But
it's not on. Just let him go. That would be best. That's my advice. Let his ass go.
Mimi says let him go. All right, all right. Next letter. Hey there, Monty and Mimi. It doesn't have a title. It says, hey there, Monty and Mimi. I love this show. I can't wait to see you on TV for real. Thank you. We want to be on TV for real, don't we, Mimi? Listen, girl,
That.
wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah,
For us to just pull up and show
it
up and just
would.
have to go sit down and just talk? Yes. Um, so I know how Mimi goes off about church folks and their drama. And yes, Monty, you have the tendency to save them. But listen to this. I recently was a guest at a church, and did I see some for real bullshit going down. I walked into the bathroom of this well-established church and stood at the stall to handle my business. So it's a man. While relieving myself, I heard all of this moaning and groaning from a stall. At first, I thought that my ears were deceiving me, or I had accidentally hit my phone, and the last porn site I was on was telling on me. But no, honey. Oh, sorry, gay. But no, honey, it was going down. I'm being who I am, nosy, walked closer to the stall to see what was going on and what I was actually hearing. Listen, I know what skin on skin sounds like. So I stepped back and looked down to see if I can get a glimpse of the feet. And bitch, It was 2 sets of feet up under that stall. I went over to the sink and I turned the water on and they got quiet. I took a mental picture of the shoes as I walked towards the door. Once I grabbed the door, they stumbled out. I ran out. Honey, when I tell you it was the pastor and the choir director, I ran out. Bitch, I ran past the usher and got in my damn car and headed home. I'm sure you're like, well, what's the problem? Right. Well, I've been getting inboxes from the pastor and the choir director asking me to sit down and talk. I just open the messages and don't respond. I just open the messages and don't respond. I don't know what to say. They've even reached out to some of my friends telling them that they want to talk to me because the Lord dropped me in their spirit. I haven't told anyone what I saw, but I will tell you this. The pastor has a whole first family, 3 kids, and a wife. What do I do? Do I respond or keep them on red? What do you do? Rachel says TV, radio, podcast, award shows. I see you. Thank you, Rachel. Drayton says I can't.
See, this the shit I be talking about right there. Talk about to the friends. The Lord done deposited in my spirit to come talk. No, he didn't. You just don't want your shit out.
But listen. Let's just talk about what church.
What church?
Linda Carter said, stay away from them too. So my thing is this. I want to know what church. That's what I want to know. But then here's the thing.
Not pick any of them. It's a lot of them that goes on. A whole lot.
So he says the pastor has a whole first family, 3 kids and a wife. And you didn't stumble out this stall. So wait, you getting it in the middle of service, the beginning
at church, you can't wait. You can't go somewhere to a hotel or something. You got to do it in the damn church in the stall.
I guess it was holy.
I want to know who doing praise and worship at the time. Church just was at a halt because the pastor ain't there and ain't no damn music. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I ain't surprised either, but he said it was 2 sets of feet up under the stall, girl. And in my mind, I could see him getting closer. Linda Carter said, at the church. At the church.
Yeah. You'd be surprised what happens at the church. At a whole lot of y'all's churches, right before they come out, full of the spirit. They full of something.
What they full of, Mimi?
Shit.
So listen, sir, what do you do? I would not respond. My thing is, what are you having to explain to them? Why are you responding? Why do they want to sit down and talk to you? They were having...
You know why they want to sit down and talk to him, because they want to make sure that he don't say nothing. But the thing is, the church is filled with so many damn gullible ass people that it won't fucking matter no way. Even if they told it, they'll forgive them. They'll blame it on the devil used them, and then they have a whole little what they call it consecration service where they they rebuking all the demons and getting everything out, and everybody gonna forgive them, and it's gonna be business as usual, and they're gonna go right back to fucking, but they just gonna be more discreet. That's all.
That's what's gonna happen, BB.
Because people don't want to believe that they're that their pastors and their clergy are human.
They don't. You're absolutely.
They don't want to believe that.
You're absolutely right. And so like one of my mom's friends died, and he was a pastor, And so I was just like, Mama, well, you know he was gay. And she told me, I don't know that. No, and you're not gonna talk about him. I said, no, Mama, stop it. And she was like, well, I did think he had a little sugar. That's what she said, a little sugar. A little girl.
Yeah, like he had diabetes. Talking about a little sugar.
Rachel said he had a special blessing for her. It couldn't wait. Right now, Lord, right now. No, it was a him, Rachel.
It was a him.
It was two men. So I guess he had a special blessing for him. Right now, Lord, right now. I can't stand Rachel. But so listen.
God ain't had nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Like this, I've seen some things before. I've walked into some things before. I've saw some things. I've witnessed some things. And so my thing in that you ain't got to talk about it. I mean, you saw what you saw. You saw it with your own eyes. I think that you were previewed to see it for a reason. I think that everything that happens in life happens for a reason. So maybe you needed to see that. Maybe it was something that you were supposed to learn from that. Maybe that's not the church for you, or maybe it is the church for you. Maybe maybe you.
That ain't the church. That ain't the church, man.
Maybe it was inclusive, that you needed to see that they were inclusive too, or maybe that you needed to see that, if the pastor's getting up, and we have this a whole lot of times, that the pastor will get up and condemn homosexuality, but then they are indulging behind closed doors. So it could be one of those.
Because it's business. See, that's where it's different. It's sad, but there are a lot of preachers that have chosen to preach. They were not called. So yeah. It's a lucrative occupation. So tax free. It's a lot of perks, a lot of power. Absolutely.
So this is my question for your friends. Why do they feel comfortable enough to reach out to you from what the pastor's saying? How does the pastor know who your friends are?
Shit, right, Facebook.
Probably so. And so
social media,
absolutely. I would keep them on red.
And the pastor he had to know that it was, because if they was already in the stall, it had to be. It's a little something more to this, because how they know it was him.
Well, he said when he opened the door, they stumbled out. So I guess they saw him. That's what the letter says.
Oh, they stumbled out?
Mm-hmm. He says whenever he opened the door, they stumbled out. And it was the
Hold up, then he had a small door lock.
Listen, he said, as I walked towards the door.
They kept saying they're just a hump and they don't care.
Linda says that means they knew who he was. I agree. It says once he as I walked toward the door, once I grabbed the door, they stumbled out. Honey, when I tell you it was the pastor and the choir director, I ran out.
Always the choir director.
You know what? The choir director do get a bad name. The choir director do get a bad name.
Yeah, the choir director. Normally the choir director is, yeah.
Here go Rachel. It may be a smaller church too. It says well established. I don't know if established means big.
No, that church wasn't small. I'm wondering if it's in this area.
Because it couldn't have been a small church, because they wouldn't have been getting it in like that, because they know they come in and out. So it had to be a larger church.
That was one of them. That's one of them
mega churches.
6 stalls of churches.
It had to be a mega church. Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Here's the next letter.
It ain't that deep.
It ain't that deep.
It happens more than you know it.
To his company,
more than you know.
This is the next letter. It says, we need a church name. Linda Carter says she need a church name. God dog, Linda. It don't have one in there. It did not. Mark Albert Morton says something don't sound right. During service, they are that reckless. This must be a private restaurant. Oh,
No, because that's what I'm worried about. It couldn't be doing service because service gonna shut down. If the
it,
choir director in there,
listen, it could have been doing
who
praise
he
and worship.
directing?
We do know that praise and worship leader and the choir director are not the same people.
Okay, but yeah, okay.
Could have been sermon prep. He could have been prepping the pastor to come out to. It could have been done. He could.
Yeah, you do that. The prep. Yeah.
He,
I want to know where the first lady was.
on the first row, looking cute, clapping, waiting
The
on the
first
pastor.
lady, probably a big. Because it's a lot of times, that's why it wasn't even paid to say anything. Because a lot of times they want to keep their lifestyle and that, because they love being who they are, you know. They love sitting up front and getting all that attention and gifts and low, parking
Gifts.
space and all that.
They get them gifts.
Absolutely. Uh-huh. Gifts.
All right.
The church done boy. Hmm.
Here, here's the next letter. 2 is company, 3 is a crowd. Dear Montee and Mimi, I'm really kicking myself right now. I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years now, and it's been an amazing 3 years. When I first met my boyfriend, he was so inexperienced when it came to sex. When I say inexperienced, I meant it wasn't good. He was actually great, but he could be very vanilla, Mimi. Vanilla sometimes. That's what he said. She says. So I started introducing him to new things and he loved it. It was like he couldn't get enough of all these new things I was showing him. I finally convinced him to have a threesome. To my surprise, he loved it. He liked it so much, that's all he wants to do now. I'm down for having a threesome from time to time, but damn, can't we just have our intimate time too? It's like the only time.
No, bitch, no, you cannot. Oh, go ahead, finish.
It's like the only time he will initiate sex if it's a threesome. I'm starting to feel like maybe he's bored with just me. I don't see it going down. I didn't see it going down this way. What should I do? In case you were wondering, we are a gay couple. Sincerely, I want my bedroom back.
You got the bedroom is gone, sugar.
Courtney
You got
said,
to go get another one.
Courtney said you shouldn't have introduced it. Drayden says you messed it up. Then the crowd says you
You
messed
can't have it back. Pandora's box is now open. You can't close that bitch up now. It's open.
It's open, so you can't close it.
Mm-hmm. See, when you have vanilla, sometimes just bring some chocolate syrup in there. You ain't got to bring all you ain't got to bring no extra shit in. Yeah, you just bring some stuff with y'all. You ain't got to bring a whole nother person in there because now you done opened his eyes up to something, and now you can't put Jack back in the box.
Pandora no longer have a top. Rachel says
Mm.
bedroom is defiled, burn it and get another one. Morton says he's just not that into you. Hmm.
Not now. He probably was. It probably was great till you done did some extra shit. He was like, oh, well, damn, I was good now.
Wow.
Hmm.
So I think that when you start introducing other people, and I've seen this several times, when people start opening up doors and things of that nature, it leaves like it's almost like, have you heard like a person that's on drugs that say that they're still trying to get that first high? It's like a first high that they're still trying to get. That's what I'm assuming. Um, that they still try.
No, he just realized two dicks is better than one. That's all.
Courtney says he opened up the door for another one to come in the bedroom, and now he thinks it's okay to explore. Um, yeah, I guess that that is the sexual piece that some people desire more, and now maybe they need more. They like more. They like to, or they like being able to touch and do at the same time. I don't know. I don't know. This one right here that's deep, but I think that because you introduced it.
It ain't that damn deep. The next time just keep your shit between y'all two. Just
So
keep it a duo
so
and not a trio.
should they end this relationship?
A relationship is over because you can't. It's not going to go back. He said he wants his bedroom back. That you can't get that back. That bedroom is gone.
It's gone. So it's no repair. Can we
Yeah.
go to counseling? Can we try to fix it? Can we
What you counseling? Because what this person should have done, if you felt the sex was boring, then you go talk to your partner and say, "Can we do some things between us?" Once
mhm,
you start bringing other folks in, folks like that because it's like it's death, it's damn, it's a recipe to cheat. You know,
mm,
it's permission. You give them a hall pass.
mhm. Courtney says you can't help what you like. And so maybe this is a new
Yeah.
experience for this individual. Maybe the individual likes the fact of having, like Mimi said, two is better than one. So maybe they like the two. But this person now is saying two is company and three is a crowd. So three is too many for them. So then and my recommendation for
But
you
his
is
young man shouldn't have brought that third one in there. That's what he get.
maybe that's
That's
what
what he
it
get. That's what you get.
is.
You gonna enjoy vanilla next time. Just bring you some sprinkles in that bitch, or some syrup, or some whipped cream.
so so my suggestion for you is that you need to have a hard conversation. The hard
Here you
conversation
go. There you go the motion. See,
must
look, the conversation is done.
that's I
This
think that
is over.
there's a hard conversation that needs to be had. And the conversation should consist of saying, hey, listen, this is what I'm feeling like, or this is how I'm feeling. And I want the bedroom back to just us. If you're not willing to do that, then we need to move on, and we need to go out to our separate corners, our separate places, and explore new things. But I can't be with you because I want just you. I think that you owe that person to have that conversation.
The letter writer is selfish as hell, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because you had them. See, and this is what happens with a lot of relationships, and I'm talking about heterosexual and homosexual relationships. Period. A lot of times you have something good,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to go and you want to change shit up. Okay. Now you done change shit up, but now you realize your ass done had it good. You can't go back. You done switched it up. So now you got to deal with it or just move the fuck on. But
Mm-hmm.
that was your fault, sir. All your fault. Ain't no hard conversation to be had. He liked what you done introduced him to, and he's not going to stop. So you need to go get another vanilla person, and you need to spice y'all shit up between you two.
All right.
That's all.
And you have it from Mimi. Wait, Vanessa said that that's that's her loss, Mimi. His loss, Vanessa, because it's two men. But yeah, I agree. And so in a situation like that, maybe it has gone too far. Maybe it has gone too far. Maybe you can't.
Everybody always got them goals and aspirations, child. Just don't go chasing waterfalls.
All right, Mimi, our last letter of tonight, girl. He can't get it up.
Mm, mm.
Before I even read this letter, you don't care. You don't even care about this.
You see,
You don't care if he can get it up or not.
who don't care?
You
Okay. It
just
depends whatever perks that I'm enjoying.
Ed, damn. That's what Linda says. So he can't get it up. It says, "Dear Monty and Mimi, I've been dating a divorced man with erectile dysfunction for over 2 years. His ex lives down the street and is now dating a woman. He made her wait 6 years for marriage and said he proposed when she started putting out on a regular. He used to be young, healthy, and had a high sex drive with her. Now he is middle aged with a high cholesterol and erectile dysfunction. Despite his inability to perform sexually, he demands that I please him in bed. He needs a ton of stimulation to get aroused. Because I see his ex on a regular, I resent her for stealing his good boner years. I'm at a crossroads now where I think it's best I just leave him. He doesn't want to propose unless I satisfy him sexually, but his boner don't work no more and he has a low sex drive in his 40s. I think using his sex as a barometer for getting married is dumb, but I'm just a woman. What do you think? Sincerely, Limp Noodle.
This is the thing. You just got a man that is a manipulator, period. And you think that you can't do no better. That's why your ass done stayed in that bullshit. I wish he would have been in that ultimatum. I wish he would have. What the fuck you want me to do with old limp ass dick? What I'm gonna do with that? What?
Oh, Courtney says, no, sir. I need a reality check. Courtney also says, what are the benefits, though? Debbie says, not Limp Noodle. Oh,
And the thing is, because his dick can't get hard, he can't bust off, which means he gonna be meaner. There ain't no perk. What are you getting from this besides verbal abuse?
You better get some Viagra. That's what Debbie says.
Viagra ain't gonna do nothing. And then the other thing, how you gonna get mad at his wife, his ex-wife, for taking his good dick years? That was his wife. Girl, bye. Just yeah.
So she should leave?
And I bet you. Really, Monte? Why should she stay?
I mean,
Well, I mean, for real, why should she stay? I bet you she in a church because she want to get married. She probably ain't never been married. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the only people that want to get married, only women that want husbands, are those that have never had one.
Better get that.
Because your husband gonna get on your fucking nerves. Yes.
She can't tell us nothing because it ain't no way I'm staying. She ain't telling us something because it ain't no way.
I'm glad she done stayed for 2 years. Like, and he's talking about she got to please him. I'll be like, what can I do? Your dick ain't gonna get hard. What you want me to do? I know your mom. Because then I would have flipped it on him and was like, I don't suck unmarried dick. That's for marriage.
Debbie says Viagra works. I may not have crushed it up and secretly tried it on a limp noodle before.
Sure. He probably got a heart condition. You gonna give him some Viagra, you gonna kill his ass.
Well, she say he got high cholesterol, girl. That's heart attack time.
He probably got diabetes too.
So
bust his heart wide open.
Can't he get the surgery? Listen, Debbie,
that man is that selfish. She's not gonna get nothing to better the situation for her. He's not. He's already shown that. He used the manipulation with his first wife. That bitch got tired, and now he's trying it again.
And so this is his own sexual trauma, because he can't perform. So he's using that against you, saying
he probably overused it. That's why it don't work no more.
He's telling you that he's not going to propose to you unless you can please him. And so that's going to be almost impossible for you. You're never going to be able to please him. If he has,
I'm like, please, I don't want to buy this. This merchandise is defective. Send it back to the factory. Reset.
And then here's the mustard side ministry of me that says, help him. Let's lower his cholesterol.
Help him to do what?
Let's eat better. Let's help him lower the cholesterol.
No, that's wife stuff right there. That ain't just ain't nobody doing all of that. to get you better for another bitch. Because now, then he going because right now he's with her because he feel less than. I promise you, if she got his dick back working, he gonna go get somebody else.
uh, David says better trade him back in to the streets. Listen, limp noodle, limp noodle. I'm going to tell you, you have two choices. Either you stay and be abused, or you walk away and let him abuse his own meat. That's what I'm gonna say.
Run, Forrest, run. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's what Mimi has to say. So listen, what are your final thoughts tonight, Mimi? What are your final thoughts?
Yeah. My final, we only had. I want to say it was everybody. I say with the exception of two. You need to go talk to somebody. Yeah, for real. Need to go and talk to somebody, learn how to love up on yourself, heal those past traumas, heal those hurt that they've experienced. Just a lot of self-love and a lot of healing needs to happen. Because once you heal and you start loving on yourself, you ain't gonna accept shit that somebody just throw at you. You're gonna realize that you actually have worth and that you don't have to settle.
Listen, I totally agree with you. I think that that you have to seek out some help. And at the beginning of the show, we talked about suicide. We talked about the different people that have lost their lives due to depression and things of that nature, mental health issues, and we're going to put the number back up there. So I want to tell everyone that you need to talk to somebody regardless. Have a conversation. The 24-hour national suicide prevention number is 1-800-273-TALK. Again, that number is 1-800-273-TALK. There are so many people that are suffering in silence, that are depressed, that have limp noodles, that it may cause depression. I'm reading Debbie's comments. And so there are so many things that happen throughout life that will cause you to be in a place. And you don't have to be in a place to where you accept abuse. You don't have to be in a place to where you feel alone. And you don't have to be in a place to where you just feel like that there's no going forward for you. So we encourage you to talk to somebody. Listen, we love you. Follow us, follow us on Instagram with In the Chair with Montee and Mimi. Follow us on Facebook, Montee and Mimi. And you know what? Help us get a check. We want a check, right, Mimi? Help us get our own show. Yeah, In the Chair with Montee and Mimi on YouTube. We love you. Listen, remember, encourage somebody, be somebody's support, and help yourself if you need help. We love you. Good night. Peace out. Love you, Mimi.
Love you too,
Something to say. I got something to say. We all got something to say. Speak up, stand up, wake up.